No way.
Hiya, lads. Welcome to science class. We've already been attacked by the park police a couple times. We've also had a couple boomers already get triggered, but it's okay. It comes with the territory. You know, knowledge doesn't care about opinion, so we're just gonna tell these guys what science is. That's what we're gonna do.
In a world. Hey guys, hiya lads, welcome to science class. I'm glad you guys came to learn about the Earth today. This is super exciting. Okay, so we were all told that we live on a spinning ball in a vacuum, and for years I've been my work testing this hypothesis. Turns out it's actually not true, okay? So we're gonna talk about a couple laws of physics here, and hopefully you guys will pass the pop quiz at the end. Yeah, so we've already had a couple people talk about how stupid I am, but we're just gonna talk about science, okay? So let's talk about the scientific method. The scientific method, yeah. This is how you determine what's scientifically true. It's called the scientific method, okay? You have a dependent variable. This is your naturally occurring observable phenomena. Yep, that means it naturally occurs in the world and you observe it, okay? That's called your dependent variable. It's the effect. Now in science, what you do is you propose a cause and effect relationship test. This is called a hypothesis, right? So you say, this I think is the cause of the effect. And then you manipulate and vary that cause to prove it's the cause of the effect. That's called your independent variable. Okay, so you must manipulate the supposed cause to prove that it is in fact the cause of the effect. This is called science. Well, the globe Earth can do this with nothing. Let's talk about it. So there's something, oh, someone's triggered and overweight. So the second law of thermodynamics says that pressure will fill the available space. Okay, so if I take a soda and I open it up, it goes psh, and it equalizes instantaneously to the lower pressure around it. That's called the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy will increase and systems will seek spontaneous equilibrium. Second law of thermodynamics. This is what's called a natural law. So it's not debatable. It's a natural law. It happens always, forever, for all recorded history. See, entropy will increase and systems will seek spontaneous equilibrium. So just like when I open up the soda and it equalizes, right? The pressure will go to the lower pressure zone. So how do you guys have a high pressure system called the atmosphere sitting next to a near perfect vacuum? How does that work? And just to save you guys the ridicule, the aerospace engineers that I debate, the astrophysics professors that I debate, they can't answer this question. Well, this is getting interesting. So how do you have a pressurized system with 14.7 psi at the surface sitting next to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr? It's impossible. You have to have containment to have pressure. It's actually in the word pressure. Pressure, it presses on the walls of a container. The necessary antecedent, fancy word for requirement, is that you have a container to have pressure. The only way that some of you guys are breathing oxygen, which a year and a half later, I guess some of you guys are still scared of the air. I don't know what's going on. Did something happen? Why is everyone wearing masks? Anyway, so when you breathe your oxygen, that's a gas. Okay, so that's gas pressure. You can't have that sitting next to a vacuum. It would instantaneously fill the vacuum. There's a container sitting there over top of the earth. Don't worry, conveniently for you, the US military's known this for decades, and there are hundreds of declassified documents that say the Earth is flat, not moving, with a firmament over top of it. I guess the military's lying, though. The military's probably lying. They do lie a lot. So, the second law of thermodynamics debunks the vacuum of space. Now, we have a lot of people ridicule us, but they'll never come up here and offer some type of response to this, because they don't even know what the second law is, and it's okay. Now you do. Okay, so in addition, there's something called fluid statics. This is the second scientific law we're going to discuss today, okay? So if you have a bottle of water and you tip it in all directions, the water always finds its level. Water always finds its level. This is why we put fluid in levels. This is why it's called sea level. Because water always finds its level. Okay, so how is 70% of the surface of the Earth ocean water that's flat and the Earth's a ball? How does that work? Interesting. Yeah, water always finds its level. If it didn't, we couldn't build houses. Yeah, it's called fluid statics. That's a natural law. no one has an argument for it, they'll just make fun of us though. So, second law of thermodynamics, debunk space. The pressure would fill the vacuum. There has to be something containing the atmosphere. Fluid statics always finds its level. Water finds its level, okay? That's why when you go out to the ocean, you'll see the ocean looks like it's level. Because it is. That's why it's called a horizon. Because it's horizontal. That's where the word horizon comes from. I know, very profound. Okay, so what most of you guys will do when I ask you these questions, you'll just say gravity. You don't even know what gravity is, but you'll just say gravity. So let's talk about gravity. So, gravity is supposedly the effect of the bending and warping of space-time. Most people here will say gravity's mass attracting mass. No, that's over 100 years old, okay? That's been superseded. That's called Newtonian mechanics. It was superseded in 1915 by Einsteinian mechanics, which says that gravity is the effect of the bending and warping of space and time. We have a couple problems with this, though. See, space is a concept. It's an idea of emptiness. Just a concept. Time is also a concept. It's a human construct that we've come up with to count passing based on what happens in the sky. You see, the sun, it'll eventually get out of the sky and it'll get dark and then it'll come back and it'll be daytime again. That's what we call days. You know where we got days? Based on the sun. Time is just a concept. Space is also just a concept. So how can space and time have physical properties? How can you bend and warp concepts? Can you bend love? Can you bend freedom? Well, America has for the last year and a half, but anyway. So can you bend concepts? You cannot. See, concepts can't bend and warp or dilate. Like when your pupils dilate, they get bigger. They say that time does that, and that's gravity. See, there's no scientific experiment in the history of mankind that has ever isolated gravity. Ever. In the history of mankind. Doesn't exist. It's called the theory of relativity. Most of you guys think gravity's proven, and what you'll do is you'll drop something and be like, this is gravity. Now, when you drop something, it's more dense than the air. That's why it goes down. When I drop a helium balloon, what happens to it? It goes up. It goes up because it's less dense than the surrounding air. Now, all my colleagues, they're really scared to talk about this because they'll lose their funding and be fired. But I graduated from Critical Thinking University at the top of my class. I'm allowed to free talk about it. So don't worry, I got you guys. It's called the theory of relativity. When I let go of a helium balloon, it goes up because it's lighter than the surrounding air. Not because it's gravity proof, guys. That's dumb. That's dumb. So if anyone here thinks they know the scientific experiment that proved gravity, please come enlighten me. I would love to know what proved gravity. I've been looking for many years. But of course, there is no evidence for it. You know, the only evidence for gravity existing is if the Earth is a ball, gravity has to exist. It pulls you in all directions. Omnidirectionality. That's literally the only evidence of gravity, is that the Earth can't be a ball without one. Well, that's convenient. The Earth isn't a ball, because we tested it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we tested the Earth. So we have an observation where we see Canigou Mountains in France from 273 miles away. Based on the globe Earth map, the mountain should have been blocked by 3 miles of Earth curvature. Do you guys know how long a mile is? We'll multiply that by 3 and stack it up vertically. The Earth has to curve and block your view. This is called geometry, right? The measurement of shapes. So if Earth's a sphere with a radius value of 3,959 miles, it has to curve at roughly 8 inches per mile squared. You have to see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Okay, so very simply, what's the square root of 1? It's 1. So if you're 1 foot off the surface of this ball that we were all brainwashed with cartoons when we were 5, then you would see the curvature at 1.2 miles. We have an observation off the coast of Cali, 1 foot off the surface, and the horizon is not 1 mile away, it's actually 10 miles away. That would require the radius value be 264,000 miles. But they claimed it's just under 4,000 miles. Isn't this interesting? This is why the government censors it. This is why the stupid little park rangers tried to shut us down before we got started. Right? Because you can't debate it. So I've been kicked off Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, PayPal, Venmo, and I don't even cuss. Do you guys support the government forcibly censoring your First Amendment? Freedom of speech? Yay, welcome to Germany, where we have lockdowns and curfews. And we have people that would never sacrifice their life like my friends did and literally died for it, right? That will actually support us being censored, as they would never go die for it. It's crazy how that works. So anyway, the government censors this because you can prove it. We proved it. You can see the skyline of Chicago across Lake Michigan from 60 miles away. Based on the globe Earth math, it should have been completely blocked, but you could see the entire skyline of Chicago. How's that work on the globe? How's it work? How do we see the skyline of Chicago from 60 miles away? How do we see mountains from 273 miles away and 255 miles away and 203 miles away and 103 miles away? Why we see the horizon 10 miles away from 1 foot off the ground when it should have been at 1 mile? How's that work on the globe, guys? It doesn't. It's literally impossible. It's impossible. Okay, so something else that happened whenever I was trying to look into this for the last few years, I've been neck deep in my studies. See, what I found out was that actually, whenever we assume gravity, which is called the theory of relativity, and we look out at the universe, we're off by 95%. To get specific, we're off by 10 to the 120th power. That's 120 zeros. So in 2021, with all the quote-unquote scientists in the world, we're still off by 10 with 120 zeros behind it. It's called the cosmological problem. They're off by 95%. I thought that we were the crazy ones. You can't even mathematically propose the universe yet. You're off by 95%. It's not 95% right. It's off by 95%. A 10 with 120 zeros behind it. Interesting. You know why it's off that much? Because the Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. When you see those stars in the sky, you guys think we're crazy, right? So we see the stars in the sky, you know what we say? We see the stars in the sky. You know what you guys believe but don't know you believe, just attack other people because you project your own intellectual insecurity and it's hilariously see-through? Well, it's because you think that these lights that you see in the sky, they're actually not there anymore. You can just see them. And whenever you see this sunset in a second, right? You know what we think? The sun is moving and it's about to set. You know what you guys think? That the Earth is actually spinning and that sun is sitting still. And during a sunset, the sun isn't moving. You're just falling backwards 1,000 miles per hour and it makes the sun look like it's moving. Wow. Sounds like you're the conspiracy theorist. Interesting. So let's talk about Mount Rushmore. Did you see this guy right here to the left? His name is George Washington. Have you guys ever heard of George Washington? Well, guess what George Washington did in his spare time? He was a land surveyor. Yeah, he measured the surface of the Earth. That's what George Washington did. He has over 200 surveys that he did. Right? You can go look at the maps he drew. You can go look at his data. Yeah, guess what he assumed the Earth was when he measured it? Flat. So you guys think these guys are some intellectual giants that you really are weird about coming up here and basically worshiping, right? Well, George Washington thought the Earth was flat. So is he dumb or is he smart? Can you make your mind up? Is he dumb or smart? Okay, so he used a circumventor, which measures horizontal angles. He used a plane surveying compass. A plane, do you guys know what a plane is? Yeah, George Washington made hundreds of surveys assuming the Earth was flat. Huh. So the guy that's chiseling the stone, which, just a little piece of information for you guys, this was stolen from the Native Americans, okay? And this area was known as the Six Grandfathers. This mountain right here, it was called the Six Grandfathers. Isn't that interesting? Maybe there were faces in it before they covered them up. I don't know. Did you guys know that? The Native Americans called this the Six Grandfathers, and now they've covered them up. And actually, there are pictures from back when it was being built. There was a face to the left of George Washington. That's not there anymore. What's up with that? Huh. So that's interesting. Did you guys know that Abraham Lincoln, that's the guy to the right there, that he has a quote saying there used to be giants? So you guys, can you make up your mind? Do you revere them as intellectuals or do you think they're dumb? Which one is it? Because according to modern day, anthropology, there were no giants. There were no giants. So I guess Abraham Lincoln was a crazy person. George Washington measured the Earth and assumed it was flat. I guess he was a crazy person. Yeah. He actually was a crazy person. He put slaves' teeth in his mouth. What a psychopath. And you guys just run up here to the carved stones and like worship them as you walk through this little creepy ritualistic aisle. So anyway, they lied about the earth, guys. I'll try my best to do my nerd voice. I'm not very good at it. But anyway, they lied about the earth. I know it sounds crazy. I thought it sounded crazy too. Okay? But to dismiss something prior to investigation is the height of ignorance. Have you guys ever heard of Mark Twain? Mark Twain, very famous author, right? What he said was, it's easier to fool someone than to convince them that they've been fooled. That's what we're dealing with, right? So what we do is we offer $100 cash, and this goes for everyone here. $100 cash if you can get 3 questions right about the globe Earth, right? Since I'll say the Earth's not a globe, it's actually flat. You guys laugh at me and make fun of me and ridicule me and call me stupid. You know, I guess all of our genius IQs go out the window because you call us stupid, right? So what we're gonna figure out is, if we're so stupid for not thinking the Earth's a ball, at least you gotta know what it is, right? Because if you don't know what it is, but you think I'm stupid for not believing what you believe, how does that work? How do you know I'm stupid for not believing what you believe, but you don't know what you believe yet? That's like telling me you believe in the Bible, you just have never read Genesis before. Well, I'm not going to take your opinion about the Bible very seriously. You haven't read it yet. So I'll give you $100 cash. You can come up as a group. If you get the questions close, I'll give it to you anyway. You don't got to pay to play, and they're very easy questions. And they're the basics about the globe Earth model that most of you guys should have learned when you were in like 5th grade. Okay? I'll even tell you what the first question is. The first question is, how many times does the Earth supposedly spin every 24 hours? How many times does the Earth rotate every day? What's up?
Have you been in a plane before?
Yeah, hundreds of times.
But you like look out the window. You don't see the whole world. You just see what state you're in.
And is it curved or flat?
It's curved.
Really? So the hundreds of pilots that I know, they're lying?
What?
So the hundreds of pilots I know that have flown for decades, they're lying when they say the Earth's always flat in the plane?
Who said that?
The hundreds of pilots that I know.
I think you're lying.
Well, I think you're lying if you think you see curvature from a... Well, it's called geometry, and based on the geometry of the globe Earth, you wouldn't see the curve from a plane. It's impossible.
Pictures from space.
So now we're talking about space. So you agree you can't see curve. You never saw a curve from a plane. Hey, will you get the mics? No, and I'm just getting it anyway. Yeah, so you don't see curvature from a plane. So you would like to admit you just said that to try to make me look dumb or something? Like you don't.
See it?
So the pilots,
Like when you look in
We're leaving.
like a lake or like the ocean.
the ocean's always flat.
You don't see the end.
Yeah.
You don't see the end because it curves.
No, it doesn't. It
Rainy.
doesn't curve because. Okay, so you don't know anything about it. This is okay.
Yeah, water doesn't curve. I get that.
Water doesn't curve.
You gotta understand.
Yeah, and by the way, so whenever you see the boat disappear over the ocean, what they taught us was that it's the curve blocking it. Well, I document it all the time. And when you go out there, you can zoom in and bring the boat back. Did I X-ray vision through the globe Earth? Have you guys ever done it? Of course not. You just watched it on TV. So you can actually zoom in and bring the boat back into view. What that proves is that the boat just looks like it disappears due to something called angular resolution limit. You can't see forever. Whenever you increase your optical zoom with like this P900 we have right here, right? You zoom in, you can see the boat again. The curvature of the water isn't curving. See, there is no curvature of water. That's why it's called a horizon. It's horizontal. So, and I get it. You guys think if you just ask stupid questions, it makes me dumb or something. I don't know. It's wild. This is the biggest like spell that's ever been cast. So anyway, you don't see curvature of the Earth in a plane. None of you have. I know hundreds of pilots. I've been in a plane hundreds of times. I know people that have flown pilots or flown planes for the military.
You also don't find intelligence in conspiracy theories.
Oh wow, that was a really smart conversation you wanted to have there. So anyway, conspiracy theory is actually a term created by the CIA. I bet this is the guy whenever people were going around and they were protesting the Vietnam War, and they were like, no, we should, or what, bro? Or what? I don't care. I know you worship your idols, man. Go turn around, worship your idols. It's called the First Amendment, homie. So anyway, what a loser. So I'm just going to talk over you. So there are hundreds of pilots that know that you never see the curvature of the Earth. Hundreds of pilots, right? So there are actually military documents that say when they engineer a plane, they have to assume it's a flat, non-rotating surface. I guess the military's probably lying. You know, when people's lives are at stake and they have to find the bad guy, they assume a flat and undertaking surface. They're probably just lying. Yeah, that's how that works. You've never read the document, so you know I'm wrong. It wasn't on CNN or TikTok, so this can't be real. Shh, stop talking about something that's important. I want to worship the stones. You're not going to do it. You're right, because you get knocked out so fast. Oh, story time. So apparently NASA supposedly took us to the moon in 1969. Did you know that they admitted that they brought Nazis over here to take us to the moon? It's called Operation Paperclip. Do you guys think that Nazis would ever lie? Did you guys know it's declassified, Operation Paperclip? We brought Nazis over here. So.
Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up, man?
How you doing now?
I'm doing good.
All right. So we're just coming back.
Yeah.
Want to give you every opportunity. We have the permit paperwork if you'd like to apply for a permit. We have your regulations showing you that this is not an approved area. Would you like to move?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, so what's the decibel?
So, well, no, I'm citing you for engaging in activity.
Well, let me see the law.
You need to let him.
Do you know how the law works?
So, what I'm asking, I'm going to need your ID.
I don't have to give you my ID. Are you detaining me?
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Okay. For what? What suspicion of what crime?
If you fail to identify yourself, you're going to be detained.
All right, so to detain me, you have to. Yeah, actually, to ID me, you have to detain me.
I just have to cite you.
No.
So I'm citing you with 36 CFR 1.6.
Which says what?
For failing to engage or failing to get a permit for an activity.
So
that
can I see
requires a
this? Can I
permit.
see the ordinance?
Yes.
Over here.
No.
So.
You're outnumbered.
Well, you guys are.
Do you
Yeah,
have
I don't
ID?
care if I'm outnumbered by brain dead zombies that go into house for curfews and lockdowns.
Okay. What I'm asking is, do you have an ID?
You go back in your house. It's past your curfew.
Do you have an ID?
What's up?
Do you have an ID?
Am I being detained?
Yes.
Okay, so suspicion of what crime?
You are engaging in an activity that requires a permit.
Can I see the law
Yes.
then?
Let's go over here. And
Why are you trying to move me away from my camera to cite it?
Yeah.
You're being really
You
weird.
take your camera.
No, you can just show it to me right now.
Here's a whole bunch of information here.
Don't touch me. All right, look.
Just so I have you guys together, you're good together, right?
Come on over here.
Right, you said if we stood right
This is
here,
hilarious.
it would be fine.
Yeah.
Spoke, but then you got your speaker and you got your banner
Yeah.
set up.
Yeah.
Now,
You guys support this, don't you? The First Amendment being infringed upon?
so setting.
Welcome to
this
the death of America.
all of this equipment.
Yay. Let's all clap because our First Amendment's getting thrown away.
Only if we're selling.
You guys would have been real good in Nazi Germany. Probably would have been the part of the 98% that voted for Hitler. So, to detain me, you have to articulate suspicion of crime.
Yes, we've tried.
Yeah.
You keep interrupting.
We offered you.
So can I see it? You haven't even cited it yet. You haven't cited the ordinance yet.
36
What does it
CFR
say?
1.6.
Specifically, read it.
I'm not required to
Yeah, you
do
are.
that.
Yeah, you are.
Hey,
Negative.
let him talk.
So
Dude, read the ordinance.
engaging
Trying to.
in an activity requiring a permit.
Okay, so specifically, which part of what we're doing requires the
Using an
permit?
audio device.
Okay, so what's the
Audio,
decibel read?
Banner.
You can't have it at all.
So can I see the law?
Yes. He's trying to explain this.
I want to see the law.
So what I'm going to need is your ID, or I'm going to need you to give me your name and date of birth, state of your auto.
I need to see the law. Are you not listening?
So what I'm going to do,
Under 2.51 and 2.50,
Told me
if you're
you're with
engaging in an
this.
activity
Somebody-
that requires
Let
an
me just
audio
read it.
device, you need to have
I
a
need your
permit.
name and date of birth.
Okay, let me read it.
Yeah.
You don't have to ID yourself.
You do
Look
have
at-
to ID yourself.
No, you don't.
If you
You're gonna be
fail to ID
fired, buddy.
yourself, You fail to ID yourself.
I was just at the White House doing this, by the way. You guys realize this is the death of our free speech.
Audio disturbances.
Okay? Does it have a certain
There's
decibel?
one. Time out. But
Yeah, you guys are trying to intimidate us. That's why they won't show us the law. I read the law before I came here. Yeah, it says a certain decibel. I know that for a fact. Yes, it does.
if you have the permit.
What we're going to do, I'm going to, if you fail to identify yourself, I'm going to arrest you for refusing to identify yourself.
Wow.
Number two, I'm going to confiscate all of this as evidence.
Yeah, that's called theft, big tough guy.
It's called
So let me tell you what the law says.
Yeah.
So whenever you have to come give a warning as to someone doing something illegal,
And I gave it to you.
you have to cite the law and read what it says as to what is prohibited.
Engaging in activity requiring a permit.
So what part of it requires the permit?
Your audio device and your banner.
So can I read the law? Is that an unfounded request?
I'm not required to print out and show you.
You are required to cite the ordinance
I
and say
did.
what it says. Okay, then I'll just research. I'll look it up. Say the ordinance again.
Keep your hands out of your pockets for me.
Say the ordinance again, buddy.
Do you have any weapons on you?
Say the ordinance again.
36 CFR 1.6.
36 CFR 1.6.
No,
This is hilarious. I have to do your job for you.
no problem. So, sir, let me ask you, do you have any weapons on you?
No.
Sir,
Do you have weapons on you?
I do. Do you
Yeah,
have
you're
weapons
really
on you?
intimidating me. Oh, man. Chill out, bro. You're going to cuff me for what?
Sir, put your hands behind your back.
For what?
I'm going to take your phone. Put your hands behind your back.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Put your hands behind
Wow.
your back. You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest.
All you have to do is leave, man.
You know,
This is public property,
look,
bro.
brother, you had a chance.
I asked you just to show me the law,
You
man.
keep interrupting.
I asked
And we're
to see the
trying to
law,
explain
dude.
to you. You're gonna know what the law is when you get addressed to it in the court of law.
Are you kidding me right now?
No,
Why
I'm
can't
not
I just?
kidding.
Do you know it's illegal to not tell me what the law says?
And we've been trying. You keep interrupting.
I've asked you 30 times.
And I'm trying to explain it 30 times.
Okay, will you
keep
tell me what the law
interrupting.
says then?
You need to stop. You need to stop.
Will you tell me what the law says?
You need to stop. You just need to stop, my man. Okay?
Wow.
Please, just calm down, okay?
refuse to identify himself.
Please.
No, I did not. I asked you to tell me what the law says.
Look.
Engaging in he was engaging in a crime, engaging in activity
Please,
requiring a
please,
permit. Setting
calm
up
down.
the speaker in the banner on the DVD.
You guys are fucking tyrants, dude.
Look, that is your opinion. You're
No, it's
obviously
stop
opposite.
touching me, man.
Look, just
Fuck
calm
you,
down.
dude.
Okay.
All I did was ask you to read the law,
Yeah, I understand.
and you guys still never read the law. I asked you guys that over there.
Hey, dealing with this gentleman, same thing. He's either going to identify himself or we're going to detain him as well.
So why can't I just ask you what the law is? Is that not reasonable?
I told it to
So-
you multiple times.
but I wanted to know what it said, man.
So
Because
I'm
I
not
had 5
required-
different
I'm
officers
not required to
lie about what the ordinance is, like
read out to
numerous
you
times.
verbatim.
You have to prove that what I'm doing is illegal, man. It's the law, dude.
And I did 36 CFR.
And it says what
1.6,
specifically?
Engaging in activity requiring a permit.
And then underneath that, it identifies this as an identity that this needs a permit. You know, as specific. So why wouldn't you just tell me what it says? Not on a microphone. America is not free anymore. America is not free. You have the right to be heard, but not in America, I guess, where my friends died. So I asked you where specifically it says that's
If he's not going to identify himself, he's getting detained too.
just,
What's that?
Yeah, thanks.
His ID's in the truck.
Okay. Well, why don't you go and escort him over there?
so you're not even going to just tell me what the law says?
I already did.
No, you didn't.
Come on. We're walking this way.
Oh, hey, what's this guy's name? Look. Wow, dude.
Here, let me give you my key fob.
Wow.
Hey, this guy's harassing this other guy here.
Yeah, but no, the cops won't do shit about what really needs to be done when someone's physically intimidating someone, I guess. Well, what? You're supporting them infringing my First Amendment. Yeah, a microphone doesn't change the First Amendment.
So you do know what your job is, right? You know you're going to get fired, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you have less than 105 IQ. Do you know there's an IQ cutoff for your job?
I'm highly worried about it.
Yeah, so did you know there's an IQ cutoff for your job?
That's so.
It went to the Supreme Court. You're not allowed to have over 105 IQ. This is why you do stuff like this. You didn't know that though, did you?
I'm sure.
Yeah. So, you know what's so crazy is if you had just read it and it actually said that, I would have turned it off. But you refused to do it. So this is illegal, dude. If you, I asked you before I turned it on. I said, just show it. That's all I asked for. You are what?
You have anything to drink today? Any alcohol?
No. So the question is, why did you not tell me what the law says, bro? Because if you had,
I did.
Brother, my brother. If you had told me that it says you can't have amplified devices and read it that needs a permit, turned it off. You never did that. It says, man. You don't just get to say things. So you're sure it says no amplified device? Right, because you're definitely breaking the law if it doesn't say that.
Go and turn around. This way, just in your stuff.
What is your deal, man? You're such a little gamma, dude.
I'll take this off of you. Just turn around. I don't want to knock this thing off.
All you had to do was read the law, and I would have turned it off, right? Because I actually don't break the law. I was just at the White House, and they said the same thing, but then they pulled out the law and said, never mind, actually, it has to be on a certain decibel to have a permit. So the same thing happened at the White House. Have to tell me anything, you get to operate it.
You don't believe in personnel anymore, I guess. You're sitting here, you won't even protect what you swore to uphold. It's crazy.
Well, they're saying you guys needed a permit to do this?
So we have First Amendment areas, and if you request to have like an audio device,
Right. So
you have to have a permit.
So they could have continued if they turned that off.
And they've not here in the areas that are designated First Amendment areas.
So how come? Why wouldn't this be a First Amendment area?
Because it interferes with all of the visitor activity up here. You saw the reactions up here. People
Yeah, I
may
mean,
not
I
agree.
think people should be having a discussion. I mean, they definitely got into an argument. I understand it being.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But still, I mean, I don't know why certain areas would be First Amendment, others not.
Because-
Everywhere should be First Amendment.
That's kind of
I mean, even.
The rules are the way they are, my man.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel, I get it. But
No, I mean that's
right now,
that's what the freedom of speech is. But I don't
Yeah.
want to argue. I
Yeah.
was just curious. I feel bad for these guys. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why we have these areas so people can see it.
I get it. It has utility, but it's still like freedom of speech is like that's fundamental here. But anyway, I know.
Yeah.
I feel bad for it.
All right. Take care, folks.
Yeah, thank you. Right on. Take a card. Okay, you scanned it? Let me just pack it up. That makes it so much easier.
I understand. And if you don't mind, sir, I will give you all of this information and you'll probably didn't want to do anything about it. Would you mind taking that? Put it in the backpack. So inside here is the superintendent's continuum. It's all encompassing on the regulations specific to the park, and how to get as well as how to the special use permit, all that good stuff. And of course, if you go to MTS.gov, which is, I just printed off the public website. That's where you can get this information. That's where you can get the permits applied. Make sense?
Yeah. I might have to make a couple trips.
I can help you, man. I just don't want you living in suspense with equipment up here along with people, you know what I'm saying? I trust people too. All right. I can grab this if you want to secure it. Okay. 502520. Just double checking, are we taking any of this equipment for evidence? Obviously, it's on video. What?
That's fine. You can just roll it.
Can
Just
you
lift
slow
that
down?
up.
I did not understand you. I'm sorry. They got an earbud. You can't hear what he's talking.
He's gonna help
Define
me.
everything, please. I'll just need you over by the car. Let's go over to our car over here.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
What's it called?
Witsit gets it. WITSIT.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
I got a card.
Oh.
There you go. Right on.
I'll get that, sir. So that doesn't come out
It does. You can pull it out.
like is it a
Yep.
twist?
No, just pull.
Oh, it's a yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Cool.
Either way, sir, the criminal activity needed to stop. Do you understand?
Oh, you say this is criminal
It
activity?
is a criminal. It is a crime.
Oh,
So it's
for-
criminal
for-
activity. So that's what I'm saying. You saw the crowd. They're gonna go up on you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on. That one guy dang your gut. Well, he did get in your face. Are you guys used to that?
Oh, that's... People get triggered.
Yeah.
Where you parked, sir?
I'm parked,
On garage?
yep.
Okay.
So I can take it there if you want.
So that's the thing. The ID's in the truck. How much of this equipment are we actually going to have for instance?
So the speaker
Okay.
and the, I'll let you guys keep the camera. I know you got,
It's a
you're
phone.
probably
I got
filming
you.
live now. I got you. But yeah, go ahead and take that.
You got that other. Take what? Take the phone.
No, I was saying the
the
phone.
banner.
Yeah, we're gonna take the displayed banner, the structure.
That's mine.
It's our
I'm
evidence.
gonna put
now.
it...
But
What are you doing?
it's evidence.
I'm telling you,
What are you
it's
talking? I
evidence.
need my camera.
Yeah, sir. Listen. Here, go ahead and take a seat. You got yelled at a little bit. Go
being-
take a seat. Just take a seat.
You
seeing
guys are being
cooperative.
ridiculous. Why don't you just let
There's
him
nothing
go?
smooth about this.
This is dumb.
You understand? Nothing
This is
smooth
dumb.
about this. It's a process. Okay.
Process of
We're taking some of this stuff as evidence. I'm going to cut your
Okay.
receipt for. Listen, hey, I need you to listen to me, okay? We're going to take the stuff as evidence. I'll cut your receipt for it. Does it make sense? Receipt of property. I've got to identify you.
All right.
We'll take care of that at the.
You gonna walk with me?
What else are we taking that
Yeah.
needs to stay here?
This is it. We're gonna take
That's
that.
it?
That's clearly requires.
Okay. How do I turn that power off?
There's this button in the back.
Is it like a
This is
karaoke one? It's got all
ridiculous.
different lights on. Hey, come here.
Well, you gonna walk with me or what?
But yeah, if this was hitting earlier. Do you want to fold it up?
No, that's fine because it's like my walking stick right now.
I'm going to go ID him.
Yeah.
Do you want to throw that in the evidence real quick? Just log up the time and all that.
Still trying to get a hold of our
U.S. Attorney's Office?
U.S. Attorney's office.
Okay.
All right, yep. Hey, sir, as long as, so if you're willing to identify yourself, we're going to cite you with engaging in activity without a permit, and you'll leave.
Or you're gonna take me down.
So
book me.
it's
one or the other.
refusing to identify yourself is the problem. So you have to identify yourself to a law enforcement officer.
Okay, so obviously walk with me.
I will. So here's the
Cool.
deal.
Yeah.
If we're amicable on this, the 1.6.
He told me I could just walk to my car earlier.
No,
I
no,
came
no.
up There.
I
Yes,
said,
you did.
I asked where your
You said
ID
where you parked.
was.
You know, I know you were just being escorted out by the cops. Fine, you're escorting us out. Let's go.
Right.
Let us go.
Yeah.
You're escorting
Stop.
us
Honestly,
out.
sir,
Stop,
at this
stop.
point,
That's what you
you
said.
refusing
Stop, let
to
him
tell us
talk.
your name and your date of birth. You're actually refusing right now. Like,
So-
we could detain you right now for the same thing. So we're trying to work with
Trying to
you.
work with you, my
Outright
man.
refused.
We'll get you the
You've yet
ticket.
to outright refuse.
And then you're free to go. But I
Right.
needed your ID to write the ticket. You understand? And it's in the truck. That's what you told me, correct? That's why
Yeah.
we needed to go back to your vehicle,
Yeah,
correct?
let's go.
Okay. Are you good, Ian?
You feel safe to do so? You want me
I
to
feel
drive-
safe.
I'll drive
Would you
on
like a
over.
ride or do you want to drive? Because we can go in the truck.
I'd rather
No,
walk.
you'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. All right, Ian. Thanks.
I don't get this. You guys are being really ridiculous. I just, you said, oh, you're being escorted off the property. That's what you told me earlier. You're escorting me off. You didn't say you were going to take all this for evidence. Dude, you're changing your story.
That's
no,
what I had to
you're
verify
changing.
with my supervisor.
No, you told me over there you can't. You're going to have to say, hey, man, I told him he can go to his car.
If I was wrong, I was wrong. But here's the situation. That stuff is being taken as evidence, okay? This stuff that you're keeping, you're going home with. I need your ID to write you a ticket.
If I don't give you my ID, you're going to take me to jail.
That's kind of the gist of it, my
That's
friend.
the gist of it. No, I just don't get it.
It's a shame your friend couldn't have gotten the clue.
Escort us out. Let us
Dispatch
go.
520.
Let us go. See you later. You guys.
I'll be taking the gentleman on the second half of his party to his vehicle to get an ID. And while we're going down here, I'll show you exactly where some of the First Amendment areas are that you could apply for a
He
permit.
told us we can sit right there in the middle. He said no problem. And then he changes his story. He said, yeah, you guys, as long as you guys are standing right there in the center, that's fine. We weren't using up a bench. He said, fine. And then he changes it and goes and arrests him. I don't get it. It's like, you guys want us out of there? Fine. Just escort us out. We'll leave. Don't make a big deal about this. Just escort us out. Let's go get my buddy. Let's walk us out. Changing the story like as you guys want. It's exactly what he said to us. We were there for over an hour. Then you change your mind? That doesn't seem right.
Okay. What level are you at, sir?
I think 5.
5?
I think so. 5, 4 or 5. 4, 5.
Unknown, 4 or 5. Did you have a canopy above you?
What do you mean?
So there's 2 levels. The top 2 levels don't have a canopy. Like you're
Right.
not
It was
parking.
like in the middle where part of it was and part of it wasn't. I think there's a little.
Okay. 4. Small RV parking on the outside. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Hang on.
Right. Hi guys. Haven't take that?
I got it.
You good, sir?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, number one, I got one.
So here's one of the areas. These folks have a permit. Here's one of the areas. It is free. It's open.
Well, he said there was another spot right there, and we could do it where we were. He said that was fine. You're in the middle. You guys are holding the banner, which I was. Okay.
That has 4 or 5. Does that look familiar?
We came up.
Over here?
I always like to hear that stuff because it's
502520. We're going to be either on 1 or 2, more than likely.
maybe the earth is on the back of a turtle. Who knows? I'm not an astronaut. Well, there is. You can become an astronaut and just go to space. Then you'll know for sure. But then even if you do that, I'm not going to think you're alive anyway.
Look familiar?
Yeah, I think we're over here. Don't shoot him.
Sir, that's about to fall out. You good?
Here, grab it.
I got it. Yep. One second. One sec, bro. We're on 2 right now, looking.
I think it's his truck. He might have the keys.
He might not have the keys.
I don't. It's his truck.
He might not have the keys.
So I don't think. I think he might. He might have them. Let me look.
Dispatch 520, 20 Tennessee. Tennessee 2 Romeo 9 0 Hotel 8. 2 Romeo 9 0 Hotel 8.
I think he has keys.
Okay. Well, he's coming up. I hope so. Are you okay with him driving this vehicle?
Me?
If he's given permission, are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wait.
Please escort out of here, huh?
Once they release you with the ticket, you're free to do whatever you want as long as you violate the law. He is in custody. He is going to be seen the judge. He's going to see the judge. Probably tomorrow. One second. Sorry, man. I don't know. I'm separate from all. I want to make sure everyone's good. There's a code. Stay right there. Until we identify him, he's detained. It's safe for It's not our thing. No, it's not. You refusing to identify yourself as absolute. That's not what expires April 22. See if that works.
detainment rooms. And I'm doing this out of the rest. You got a gun on your holster, threatening you to go to jail. This looks weird.
Are you on the phone? Pick up your phone, man.
Can I get your phone off you? Kathy never answered. I'm going to check your fingernail. Maybe I was calling Kathy's cell. Her office. I don't know. Just try this one. This one here, the 399. 6, 8, 5, 2. I gotta try the next day USA. I can get all the break.
Make sure just dip in the car and pay on the way out, right?
No, you have to pay for it before you get to the, before your exit.
You can pay with a credit card on the way out. On camera, on your social security number. You can write it down so it's not over in the air. Or you can get it. So you can once you write it down, you can actually put it up on the working with them, man. long as you work with the government. You'll understand why it is. It's not exactly the big process. So right now he's on the call with the U.S. Attorney's Office. We're gonna do all mandatory. Give me a court date. Time.
Fine. Speaking with the attorney, he just wants to do mandatory appearances.
Okay.
They do court in Rapid City. He didn't. So CVB is going to mail you your ticket, so we need to make sure it's a good mailing address.
Okay. Is that a good mailing address?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Making sure.
All right. And we're going to give him disorderly conduct as well. This one. You can do. You can do for the audio disturbance.
That's the next one.
No, they'll down here we got 2.34 disorderly conduct, unreasonable noise. Yeah, we're gonna disorderly them as well.
Because you were out there more than I was. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, the point where we have people shouting back and forth,
Yes.
creating a disorderly. That's a disorderly conduct.
Okay,
So,
2.34.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll make sure we're on the same page. Here's this one here. Okay, sounds good, man. Thank you. He's exactly right, though. We needed a good address, because that's the only correspondence you're going to get from the six violations we have.
So you're saying I have to go to court?
Yes. So it's
And
going to
I'm
have.
out of state, so what do you do about that? You're writing me a ticket, so I have to fly back here and take care of this ticket. So that's what you guys want to do to me. When you're
That's what U.S. Attorney is opting rather than arrest you or cite you with the warrant. You guys were given more than enough options. I'm tired of you thinking that
yeah,
I'm the
whatever.
you're the victim.
You guys are violating our First Amendment right. You know it. It's ridiculous. This is unacceptable.
Okay.
I know you don't want to do this. I know you don't. Make order follow.
Chris, come on over here. So, these are 2 citations. Citation numbers here. You can look it up on the free web. You're going to get a court date. It's a summons. Central violations. So if you get something that in effect, something into a part 6, and say central violations for that, or in the district purpose, in the district of South Carolina, that's going to be summons. Required to come to our city, to the federal building, not the county, the federal building. And you take it from there, okay? If you fail to appear, more likely because you already issued a summons, you're going to get a warrant for your arrest. Okay. All right. You understand that? Yeah. You're not saying that's fine. I'm cool with that too. All right. Real quick, even though this is a mail-out ticket, you don't have to mail anything. This is your paper. If there's any questions on the ticket, it's on the back here. Like, hey, I didn't get a summons. It's been 2-3 weeks. What's going on? Call. Okay? Make sense? Oh, hey. Number 2. Got 2 tickets. 1 ticket per time.
What's next? What's next? Yeah.
Austin, is this a good mailing address? 46 Caesar's Plains?
No world.
No world, or that kind of stole it.
I gotta get the one number for you all.
731.
So much for the sign. Let me go get a picture of it.
Which COVID passport? Branches and wood.
Bro, should have figured out yoga meditation clothes. Would have been fine. Supposed to magically know the boundary of free speeches.
Told you, man. Told you, give you opportunities.
I told you,
You
man.
did. You literally picked it up with your
stuff up and walks over. Do what you want to do, who it is.
Wait, I'm kind of missing that. What's that? What's that?
I can't keep an eye on both of you at the same time, Mr.
They get to make up their own rules.
All right, so mandatory appearances, we got one else right here down the city. We're going to mail it to your address. What I need from you is a non-additional bill to send you receipt or copy of the ticket. Signature at the bottom line.
No signature. No signature. You don't have to sign that. Don't sign it. You don't have to sign it.
I think I'm about to go to jail because
Ask him. You don't have to sign it. He's going to tell you don't have to. Doesn't matter. Clown show, bro. Clown show.
well, I could say, you know, it has my suit dragging on the ground. Thinking out loud,
How dare you speak your mind? They get to go home and say they did a good job today. Look at that. That's wonderful.
crazy dangers to society trying to speak their minds.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, look what I did, honey, tonight. I arrested these two guys speaking the truth. Yay!
Parts on the back of it, so you can find it. Share the airport and mail it to your address. All right.
Look, honey,
No problem. Any questions for me? No money leave.
I arrested two guys for speaking their mind.
Keep the banner for evidence. I'll keep the speaker for evidence. Everything in. This is what we're complicating with on the evidence.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
I'm
not.
telling you.
You're going to court.
Hey, bring the
back.
camera over here.
Huh?
Bring the camera.
So there's everything I had on you. Like that.
So you're stealing the speaker?
You're still in the speaker?
As I explained to this gentleman, it is evidence.
You guys are psychopaths.
It's evidence.
No, it's evidence, dude. It's on tape.
Yeah.
The speakers, the evidence. How about you keep this for the evidence? Yeah, you're just thieves.
You guys are free to go.
Yeah, we're free to stay too.
Yeah, we're free to stay.
So what's the process of getting the permit for the amphitheater?
So I
You
did
gave
give this
it all to
gentleman
me.
all the paperwork you needed for that. It's
Well,
in
what
your
is,
backpack.
yeah, what's the process?
It's in there. Go online. It's right there.
So what's the process? Like, how long does it take? Can I do it right now?
No. You don't do it
I
right now.
can't do it right now.
Nope. Cannot do it
Really?
right now.
Why is that?
You guys have a great day, all right? Instructions are on there. Please.
You have a wonderful day. I hope you guys feel
Yeah,
good
thanks for
about
stealing-
doing your
stealing my
job.
possessions, man.
Thanks for stealing our possessions. Have a great evening.
Go take your vaccines.
Yeah.
Not medical advice.
Clown world.
They just stole the speaker, bro. They stole
and
the
the
speaker.
sign.
They stole the speaker and the sign. They stole the speaker, bro.
Good job, guys. Good job. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great, sir. Right on.
Oh, man, we'd be in such a crazy world if we weren't arresting people for their First Amendment. Yeah, unlock the door.
Get.
Dude, look at, you guys see it? He put the handcuffs on so tight, bro. It's been like, what, 20 minutes of me out of the handcuffs. You can still see it. See it?
And they stole the speaker. And the sign.
They stole my speaker, bro. It's evidence for executing my free speech. Yo, dude, all I did, and the truth is, bro, like, if they had have read it and it says you can't have any amplified sound, I would have turned it off. And they saw me pull my phone out to read it, and he grabbed the phone out of my hand and said, "You're arrested." So, what's up, guys? I almost want to just go back in there. You know, I don't know, you guys couldn't hear him. He's like, if you had have cooperated, then I promise we would have got you a permit. You could have gone down in front of the whole amphitheater. I'm like, okay, so let's get the permit. Well, we're confiscating your speaker. Aaron, thank you for the $100 super chat. Much love, bro. I missed you guys on the other super chats. It was that I look like I know what I'm talking about. I have so much authority in my lab coat.
That's what got us arrested.
The lab coat?
Yeah.
I don't know. I will say the first time I put the lab coat on, I got in handcuffs. That's good. It's kind of weird. I can't wait to pay for these tickets, though. I'm going to be in court for sure. I'm going to drive all the way back across the United States to be in court for the First Amendment.
Oh, you're gonna have
Can you end the stream and start a new one so we can download the stream? Nah, man. It's all good. It's all good. I'll end it in a second. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. What am I going to start another stream for? We could go back and just talk real loud.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you guys think we should go back in there? Could you guys hear the convo when I was walking to the cop car? You could hear it? Oh, you are saying yes, I should go back. We're good now. Let me guess, we're not allowed to have a tripod. They're gonna come up with anything they can, bro.
Let's go.
I meant to keep a record. Yeah. No, I mean, it's not like they're gonna delete it, man. It's all good.
I got another speaker.
I'm not pulling another speaker. No, he handcuffed me so hard, bro. I couldn't feel like these two fingers, bro. And then you have to sit down on them.
It tightens them up more.
He tightened those so tight, man. You can still see it, bro. You can still see it. On my first rodeo, it was too tight, guys. You can trust me on that one. False arrest, you don't say, man. If you end the stream, we can download it so the video doesn't go away after the stream. It shouldn't go away. Yo, they hit us with probably as many tickets as they can. Here's money for a new speaker. Thank you, man. Much love, Systems Planet, even though it's an interesting name.
Let's go. Let's walk back up there.
I guess we're gonna go back up there, man.
Here's your other phone. And here's your money.
Well, we're like, where's the battery? 48%. It's not too bad. He's like, I'm gonna keep the speaker and the sign as evidence. Like, dude, you're just trying to piss me off right now. Dude, that was a $350 speaker, bro, plus the insurance. I'm sending you money for a new speaker. Well, thank you, Bob, but it still just sucks. Well, thanks if you do, man, but you don't have to. It happens, man. Evidence for what? There was no arrest. Yeah, I mean, tell them arrest that, bro.
That was both of arrest. It's arrest and release.
Arrest and release. Arrest and release, bro. Did you hear the zombie crowd cheer?
Wow. That one guy stepped in and said, "What did he do wrong?" He was cool.
Yeah, no, there were like 10 people that were asking what we did wrong, but there were like 30 that cheered. They want to hear about flat Earth. Well, there's just no measurable curvature anywhere, and all practical use assumes the Earth is a flat, non-rotating surface. We see hundreds of miles. You know, you can see hundreds of miles, and you can see exactly what's there. And the globe earthers want you to believe that it's just a mirage that lifted up 3 miles and stopped right where it needed to look flat, and that the horizon got picked up and moved backwards, because that's how it works, you know. We'll keep going.
Let's go up there and tell her.
What was the actual charge? I don't know. Did you read them?
Yeah.
What are they?
Disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct.
Yep. And not having, having an amplified device, and not having a permit. There's a bunch of them. There's 2 of them for sure. We got 2 separate tickets. We'll look at them later.
I want to read it. I want to read the permit. Federal regulations and administrative policies based upon a determination that public health and safety, environmental scenic values, blah, blah, blah. Has anyone looked up the thing that he cited yet? Thank you for the 1999 super chat. Thank you again, Aaron Moorfield, for the trouble cops are causing. Thank you, Chris Ragsdale Jr. for the super chat. Much love. Thank you again, Systems Planet, for the super chat. 1999. Thank you, Annie, for the super chat.
Did they even use a pen?
I don't know. Yo, you can't even read the tickets. They're clowns. Okay. Expect as otherwise provided, application for permit shall be during normal business hours. The following are prohibited. Engaging in activity subject to a permit requirement. So it doesn't even say anything about amplification here, bro. Has anyone looked this up? 36 CFR 1. Yeah, that's where I'm at, bro.
He gave us the whole shebang.
The whole shebang? Sorry, guys. I just want to look at this real fast, because if it's not on here, I'll walk back out there with the speaker. Look, designated First Amendment locations. It's all public property, but they get to designate where you have your First Amendment. When you walk in, it says this area has First Amendment protected activities. You're allowed to do it. We don't necessarily condone the views of the parties. As soon as you walk in Mount Rushmore, it says this area allows First Amendment protected activities. I just sent you $350 for a new speaker. Jeez Louise, Bob. Wow, Bob just sent $350 for the new speaker. Wow. Thank you so much, Bob from Globebusters is a legend. Wow. Thank you, bro. I'll go get one after this. What a legend. Has anyone seen where it actually says that? Because he said, he's like, I'll get you need a permit to speak the truth. Yeah. Well, permit means giving you permission for what is normally illegal. So I guess the First Amendment's illegal. Duh. You have the right to be heard. Thank you again so much, Bob. That's incredible, bro. Thank you so much. We'll go buy one in a second. Look, here you go. Can you just tell me what it says? Was I being unreasonable? I was like, can we just know exactly what it says? You're doing something that needs a permit. Like what specifically? Can I know exactly? You're not allowed to have an amplifier. Well, what does this say about that? No, it doesn't matter. Turn around, you're arrested. Are you kidding me? No, they were unreasonable? Yeah, you're telling me. Dude, we got the first interaction on tape. All on the GoPro. I'm like, dude, you guys, can you tell me what the law is? All right, well, if I'm being detained, okay, well, then we're gonna go over here. That's what happened. I'm like, if you're not detaining us and you don't know what the law is, then we're gonna go over here. Did anyone look it up where it says anything about amplification? Because it wouldn't be surprising to me that there is something, right? But I just haven't seen it yet. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Speech making, marching. Okay. So that was definitely a demonstration. I'll give him that. Sorry guys, I'm trying to read the law and figure out if I can go back in there. I mean, I can go back in there and talk, you know what I'm saying? We can't do anything about that. They're just mad I had a lab coat, bro. You look at guys, look at the swag, bro. They're mad. They're mad I had a lab coat and a bow tie. Rockets, they shoot rockets, but they only go so high. They're just mad about my nerd drip with the bow tie. That's why they wouldn't read it. It doesn't say anything about amplification anywhere. It says a demonstration. It's such ambiguous like language. It says like a. It says any demonstration needs a permit. He said he was going to get me the permit to take me down to the bottom before I went live, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'll go down there too. I want to go up here too, though, right? But I'm going to talk up here. If I have to go down there after that, I'll just go down there to the amphitheater. And then he didn't even come back with anything to do with the amphitheater. Wouldn't read the law, right? It's like, are we supposed to live in a country where a cop can walk up to you and just say, 17984, stop, and you're just supposed to be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like what? That's not how it works, bro. They have to articulate the crime. They have to articulate the law, bro. I told them so many times they were going to lose their job. Someone should sample the crowd cheering for a song called Cheer about the people cheering their downfall. Yo, at least I'm 115. Thought that was low. Oh yeah, you guys heard? Did you guys hear me tell him that he has a 105 IQ cutoff probably? And he's taking me to the cop car. I'm like, this is why they cut you guys off. And he was like, I need you to bend over. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I have to search you, dude. He like rubs all up along me, bruh. Like all along my stuff, bruh. Like, what a sodomite, bro. I'm like, I'm not bending over, bro. He's like, look, I don't like it either. Then he just starts like grabbing all up on my junk. Soothe him? Yeah, I'm gonna soothe him. I just cut my hand. That dude took my speaker, bro. What a psycho, man. And like they think we're about to come all the way back to South Dakota for court? Eddie Bravo subscribed to Glowbusters on Rockford tonight. Yeah. Dude, someone drove by when I was in there and the lady was like, thank you to the cop. Thank you. Well, lady, I will, bro, you're such a slave. Go back into your house. It's past your curfew. Crowd got scared when you reached in your pocket for your phone. That coward. Yeah, I know. Everyone knows I didn't have a weapon or drugs on me, dude. Does that motorcycle have a sound permit? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just go over there and we'll talk to him. I was like, dude, I bet the stream ended. I'll look out the window and the stream's still going on. Call the local sheriff's office, put in theft report. I should file a theft report. They took our son, bro. Yo, they always single us out, man. They single flat earth out. There was some dude standing up there with a map. You're here and all this nonsense. Jared Bear's a legend, Bob's a legend, Chris is a legend, Austin's a legend. Thank you very much, Whiskey Shaman. Look at the ticket for a phone number.
Yeah,
So they want to call and complain. Just go. I should do a music video with the beard and coat. Where are theirs?
contentment phone numbers on the back of the ticket.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is like actually this is probably the court number or something, but it's 800 827 2982. 800 827 2982. United States District Court.
It's federal.
It's a federal. We just got federally charged, bro. Federally charged.
Arrested and released.
Federally arrested and released for talking about flat Earth, bro. I was talking reckless in that car, bro. I was talking reckless,
We're
bro.
gonna subpoena those.
You should. We should subpoena my conversation in the car. It was funny. I was like, don't give me like, I'll go turn on the AC. I'm like, stop acting like you're a nice guy now, bro. Like, shut up. I was not feeling it. What did you say? I said all kinds of stuff. I was like, wow, dude, are you gonna make sure you enforce the papers? We'll just leave it there.
Right.
You know?
Let's go walk up there and yell at some people.
Let me see your papers. I guess we're gonna go back up there. Why not? Are those glasses prescription? No, they're absolutely nothing, dude. I can't wear prescription glasses. Guys, I try to do my nerdy voice. Was the nerdy voice go or leave it alone? Is that a go? I don't want to bring this.
You mind just, I already got it.
Okay, will you open that back up? Grab that thing.
He's in there. He's like, oh, open container.
Whatever. We also wanted to get the P900 and zoom in at the bottom because some say that there used to be like another thing of faces there. I don't know, but it did used to be called like the Six Grandfathers, right? By the Native Americans. What a coincidence, the area they built faces used to be called Six Grandfathers, right? And then it looks like they actually plastered on top of it as opposed to, the official story, dude, is that they used dynamite to build that thing, bro. Dynamite. You know how ridiculous that sounds? You use dynamite to build that incredibly smooth structure where the eyes are glowing and shining. Dynamite. I don't know. I mean, I'm not auto-hoaxing it. I'm just saying. So I want to get the P900 so we can zoom in on that lower layer. Austin just sent you $500 to pay for your fines and come see us in Texas. Wow, dude. Well, thank you very much, Jerry Bear Grizzly, for the very generous donation. Jeez Louise. You guys are legends. Yeah, we're definitely going to come see you in Texas, bro. It's going to be on the way back. I don't even want to know what those fines are going to be. They're federal charges. I don't even care anymore, man. Just tack it on, bro. Trevor sent $30 for the tickets. Thank you, man. Much love. I'll put everything that says it's for that towards the tickets for Chris and I. It's all good. What if we just don't pay them?
They think you get a warrant out for your arrest.
Yeah, they'll put a warrant out. Wow, dude. Doing this stuff, you might bridge the gap with constitutionalist Republicans. Yeah, maybe. You guys are free to leave. Yeah, we're free to stay too. Yo, the crowd cheered, bro. They cheered. Oh, we had some people that were like, what? He's just talking. Why are you arresting him? But still, like, some of the crowd cheered, bro. Because flat Earth triggers them so much, they would rather shut down your free speech than to hear opposing views, right? It's like, dude, I was even trying to do a little skit to try and break the ice. I've been talking to my colleagues about this for years, and it just isn't adding up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't win for losing, bro. Why are you guys so triggered? Yo, dude, it must be the lab coat, bro. The lab coat. They gotta respect my authority. If he's wearing a lab coat, it's gotta be true. What's next? You're not allowed to wear shoes.
You can't speak your mind. How dare you practice the First Amendment?
Dude, I got the first interaction on the GoPro. It's really funny. It's like, so, like, there's the free speech zone. Like, what? So, is this the Nazi Germany zone or what? There are free speech zone now? What? We drove hundreds of miles to see this thing. We're still going to document it.
Giving up, are you?
No, we can't let him put us down that easy.
If you ever wanted a litmus test of how dead America is, just look at how many people support the First Amendment getting attacked.
Right.
It's the cowards that would never, ever stand up and sacrifice their life for it. Every time.
Yeah.
And again, I don't support people going and dying in wars. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. It's just like the people that wouldn't stand up against the totalitarian government and sacrifice their life for their freedom. Those are the people that are okay with it being taken away. A bunch of cowards.
The crowd was going to storm you.
Oh, wait, let me show them the sign. Let me guys show you what the First Amendment sign says. It's obviously a lie. It's obviously not real. Check this out. Subject to National Park Service regulations, this area has been designated for First Amendment activities. Such activities are neither sponsored nor endorsed by the National Park Services. Interesting. Interesting. He's like, I just talked to the U.S. court marshal. He said to release you. Yeah, I bet he thinks you're a psychopath. I'm confiscating your sign and your... It's like he wanted to take my money. He wanted to take my cash. Did you guys see the sign? Am I tripping or what? Supreme Court overruled what? Take that sign to the center area and designate it yourself. Yeah, it's like, dude, there's no boundaries. It doesn't say, this is where free speech ends. You're now in Nazi Germany. It doesn't. So I'm like, well, where's the free speech zone? Where's it end? No answers. Well, what exactly does it say about implication? Can you cite the ordinance? And I have the first interaction on the GoPro. I said, you have to cite the ordinance, bro. He's like, he said he wants to be cited. I'm like, what? No, cite the ordinance. Crazy, bro. That still to this second, I haven't been cited the implication ordinance. Like handcuffs an hour later. Yeah, I showed the sign like a minute ago. Your beard looks good today, thank you. I actually brushed it some. Here, I'll show you guys in case you've never seen Mount Rushmore. So you walk through all the state flags. Yo, I was gonna go down to the amphitheater too. Like he said, I mean, I'll even get you set up where you go down to the amphitheater. I'm like, well, all the people are up here, man. I have the right to be heard, but I'll be cool going down there too. He didn't even come back and say anything about it, right? You guys saw it. Zombies worshiping the beast. That's what I'm saying. You walk through this creepy little aisle. Under the guise of patriotism, you walk up and idolize gigantic stones of dudes that owned slaves and abused people, and they stole this mountain from the Native Americans that called it the Six Grandfathers and covered up the faces that were already there. Or maybe they didn't, I don't know. I wasn't there. Here, I'll zoom in. They chose this location because they already had faces there. So we're gonna set up the P900 real fast. Everyone thinks they know so much about it. Dude, this used to be called the Six Grandfathers, owned by the Native Americans. It was stolen, and then they put it over the faces that were up there of the Native American grandfathers. So that wasn't in the history books, though.
I think you gotta change the bottom.
No, you just gotta know which angle to put it in. So we're gonna zoom in. It looks like they actually overlaid it. All right, the official story is they built it with dynamite. How dare you? Somebody that I used to know. Almost one. 444 Illuminati confirmed. Yeah, I'm about to try to document this real fast.
Yep, ran right into it.
I don't know, I can't really tell. I mean, it looks kind of sketchy, you know what I'm saying? All right, let me guys show you the, I'll show you where the amphitheater is, where he said he'd take us, but then he just arrested us, you know. This is Nazi Germany now, hence the curfews and lockdowns. And All right, so that's the amphitheater right there. So we were gonna go down there. Oh no, do they have a permit? Oh no. Oh, never mind. I forgot the law is selectively enforced. Duh. Do they have a permit, Chris? I don't... So I don't know the process of getting the permit, right? Like I asked if we could do it today, and he said no. Which we have to leave after today, right? We gotta get to Yellowstone. Built on sacred. Oh, they don't need a permit. Yay. Built on sacred Native American land and sculpted by a man with ties to KKK, Mount Rushmore. Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know this is legit and we should worship it. Duh. You know, the Native Americans called this the six grandfathers, and then they coincidentally built house or faces right on top of it. Totally a coincidence. They didn't call it six butterflies, you know, they didn't call it six birds or eagles or wolves. They called it the six grandfathers. That's what they called this. What a coincidence. They built faces here. Just a coincidence. I don't know if it is or not, but it's certainly pretty interesting. Cool place to have a concert. Yeah, apparently that's a free speech zone, but enough sarcasm, dude, kind of cringe. How about you just go to another live stream, buddy? How about that? It says it takes 10 days of waiting to get a permit. 10 days of waiting. What am I mean, it's not like if I go to the amphitheater, no one can hear you. Am I supposed to just like scream? Wait, you have to fight to have free speech now. And dude, literally people cheered when we got arrested. People here cheered as we got arrested. The death of America, bro. Yay!
Arrest them.
Yay. We only want to hear people talk if they agree with what I think. If not, yay, arrest them.
You know. You guys okay with them arresting us?
Yeah, I mean, we just drove hundreds of miles to exercise our First Amendment where my friend died and shed blood. No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal. You know, my dad was in war when I was born. No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Your First Amendment, throw that out.
Doesn't count. You're only allowed to have the First Amendment if they like what you say. Tell them it's all gonna burn. Yeah, this is all gonna burn. You shouldn't be worshiping idols. George Washington said the earth was flat. This is getting awkward. Abraham Lincoln said there used to be giants. What's up with that? I guess he was dumb. Was he dumb or smart? Abraham Lincoln said there used to be giants. Interesting. Bet you guys didn't know that. It wasn't on CNN. George Washington, you know, the guy who used to steal slaves' teeth and put them in his mouth. That's how you know he's a hero. You can hear someone singing opera from here, bro. Which, I mean, I have no issue with it, bro. It's their First Amendment. What a joke. And people here are such zombies, they literally support it. They don't care, they support it. You know what I'm saying? We lost America. America that we have known is gone. Welcome to the next America. America, the free country, is dead and will never return. It will never return. You're over here singing a song like we're still free or something. We have curfews and lockdowns now, guys. I don't know if you were here for the curfews and the lockdowns like prisons have. I don't know if you were here last year. Curfews and lockdowns, and when you use your First Amendment, you get arrested. Wait, let's go, America. You guys, America, you are crushing. People come here like they're patriots, and they literally folded. They folded last year. They failed the test. You failed the test, bro. Yay! Some people get a First Amendment. Yay! Just a bunch of low IQ zombies, bro. So what do you guys think I should do? Take a pic for the gram. I don't care that all of our freedom is corroding. Let me just take a pic for the gram. Guys, we're about to have to go in lockdowns in the fall. We better get our pics in before we have to go back into lockdown. Get a pic for the gram. It's the only logical thing to do. Blindly comply to curfews and lockdowns. Duh. You know, prisons have lockdowns. That's how you know you're free. Yay. How did I know there were going to be lockdowns a year and a half ago and this fall? Ah, I must be a prophet. That's crazy how that works. Not medical advice because YouTube will delete the video.
Are you Where are you guys posting this? This is hilarious, and I want to.
It's on YouTube.
Can I get your YouTube app?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that QR code will take you there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. In a world where no one knows what the world is, maybe you should book a permit for that. Dude, we drove like 18 hours to get here. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to Yellowstone and then to Idaho August 6th. They won. They stripped our First Amendment. You know, cut off the circulation to my hands, didn't articulate the crime, didn't read the actual ordinance. The crowd cheered because they're ready for Nazi Germany 2.0. They're a bunch of slaves. And then they stole our speaker and stole our possessions. Welcome to America, ladies and gentlemen. As the guy who goes around the United States putting his business on pause saying, we need to stand up together because they're giving us curfews and lockdowns and we're not gonna be free anymore. And your children aren't gonna be free anymore. The crowd cheered for him being arrested. You see how backwards the world is now? Yeah. And it's just mob rule, right? So they heard one person clap, all the other zombies just clap with. They're just mob rule. They're just like mob zombies. If the zombies say the air's gonna kill you, the air's gonna kill you. Doesn't matter what they say. Whatever majority says. It would have been cool with slavery back in the day, I guess, when the majority of people thought it was cool. And yeah, I'm intentionally making sure these people hear me talking. I don't care. How dare you? Well, no, I zoomed in and recorded. Why you want to zoom? Record what? I zoomed in real close to all of it. I'm confused. Is the Earth flat or not? Whoa, I'm glad you asked. Yes, the Earth actually is flat. It's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. You're crazy. You're crazy, bro. I don't have to know anything about it, but you're crazy. What are you talking about? NASA went to the moon in 1969, dude. You crazy conspiracy theorist. You know, NASA went to the moon in 1969. They just can't go back yet because they destroyed the technology, and it's a painful process to build it back. And when they brought moon rocks back and Holland tested, it was actually petrified wood, not real moon rocks. That's how you know it's legit, because they brought Nazis over here. One of them named Werner von Braun, an SS officer, and he's who took us to the moon, and Nazis would never lie. That's why we haven't been back. It's 2021, and we can't rebuild the technology from the 60s. And if you don't believe that story, you're a conspiracy theorist. You know, the one time we supposedly took a real picture of the Earth being a ball from space, the moon landing, because we can't go back and we can't get far enough outside of low Earth orbit in 2021 to take another picture, and NASA admits the quote-unquote pictures we have right now are just cartoons and computer-generated images. That's how you know they're real. Duh. It's just like Elon said, you know it's real because it looks so fake. You know they sent a car into space because it looks so fake. That's how you know it's real. Here. Let's play Elon talking about it.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Yeah. You can tell it's real because it looks so fake. That's what Elon said.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
You know, here's Buzz telling him.
This is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon, which was, what?
Because there wasn't any television. Were they taking a picture or watching animation?
Wow! Buzz Aldrin says there wasn't a real video of the moon landing when they landed. You watched animation. But the guy that went there, he doesn't know for sure. I'm not gonna lie, he's not a very reliable source. He's an alcoholic. Yeah, no, you didn't. You watched animation, amplified device. They stole it, bro. They stole the amp, bro. The cops stole the amp, and then the zombies in the crowd clapped for it. They cheered for it. It's the death of America. Welcome to the death of America. Yeah, America's so free, we have lockdowns. Yay. Can we get a moment of silence for America that used to be free? You be good slaves and go back in for lockdowns in the fall. Yo, I got a lab coat. Whatever I say is true, bruh. Get some. Light's actually nothing more than the excitation of the background medium based on the energy introduced, and what they call inaccurately the speed of light is nothing more than the illumination rate of the background medium that was already there, hence the ability for it to be instantaneous, and it explains the non-locality of light. Oh, yeah, there's a background medium, the toroidal field on top of the Earth. The Earth is in fact a dielectric plane in between it. Oh! The Earth's not a spinning ball in a vacuum. That's dumb. That defies physics. That's why whenever they assume the theory of relativity, which is what gravity is, and they apply it to the universe, it's off by 95%. In fact, Michio Kaku himself, a famous astrophysicist, said, actually, we're off by 10 to the 120th power. That's 120 zeros. Now, normally in science, we would say that's ridiculously off, but in cosmology, we just get to make up story tales. It's really just guesswork. We go by the seam of our pants. So yeah, we're off by 10 to the 120th power, but that's how you know we know exactly what's all the way out there. You can't even make it up. No one here knows any of it. But they cheered. They cheered as we got arrested for our First Amendment. Yep. No one here knows any of it. None of it. What's the radius of the Earth? You know, it's the most important way to test whether or not what they said the Earth is true. No one knows. No one knows. You know, NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, and they worked with Nazis. That's how you know that they're a credible source. They worked with Nazis. Operation Paperclip. Duh. Wait, you're saying the government worked with Nazis? Yeah, it's declassified. It's called Operation Paperclip. That's why they put paperclips in different files. That's why they called it Operation Paperclip. One of the Nazis they brought over here, his name is Werner von Braun, and he was an SS officer of the Nazi regime. Not just some innocent scientist, an SS officer. And then we brought him over here, and we put him in charge of space exploration, and he took us to the moon. Yeah, the Nazi took us to the moon. That's how you know the moon landing was real, because the Nazis took us. I guess the reason we haven't been back to the moon is we're fresh out of Nazis. We'll just have to wait for another communist takeover, and then we can go back to the moon.
Good job.
Yay.
Let's go enjoy it. Not rush somewhere else.
Yay. People still getting triggered. No amplification. People still getting triggered.
How dare you?
How dare you stand up for our freedom as they're corroding? You know prisons have lockdowns and not free countries, guys? Do you guys know that? Curfews and lockdowns are what prisons have. Yeah, I didn't know if you knew. Thank me later. Thank me later. Can't get too specific. YouTube will delete my video. We're in such a free country. I might get arrested again. Uh-oh. I need to get the approval of what I'm allowed to say with the First Amendment. The First Amendment has a stipulation. Unless you say something that triggers the boomers because the moon landing was fake, then you don't have a First Amendment. We have First Amendment areas now. That's the free speech area over there in the corner where no one can hear you. That's the only place you're allowed to have the free speech. Duh.
Duh.
Yeah, this is public property that was actually stolen from the Native Americans, but who cares? They get to steal it and make up rules about areas of free speech. Yeah, what a free country. You're only allowed to have the First Amendment over there in the corner. And the slaves cheered for it, bro. They cheered. They cheered for it. Crazy, bro. Oh, and everyone thinks that private company just went to space. You stupid flat earther. Private company just went to space. Oh, never mind. They admitted that you can't see the curvature from that height because it's 63 miles and geometrically you wouldn't see it. So whenever Jeff Bezos said he saw the curvature, he was literally lying. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, a famous astrophysicist, says you can't see the curvature. You can't actually see the curvature from that height, but don't worry about it. And there were actually clouds still at that height. And all they did was float weightless for about 5 minutes, just like a vomit comet. You can pay $2,000 and get on a plane. And as you fall down, when you're free falling, you will effectively experience weightlessness to 4 to 5 minutes. That's what they did for the $250,000 space tickets. That's how you know flat earthers are dumb, because the globe earthers don't know any of that. That's how you know we're dumb. Man, I can't wait till we have another Nazi regime so we can go back to the moon. You know, Werner von Braun, the Nazi that took us to the moon? That's how we know it was legit. Nazis don't lie. Nazis don't lie. He also wrote a science fiction book in the 50s, and the main character's title was Elon. And guess what Elon does in the book written in the 50s? Elon takes everyone to Mars. So the Nazi wasn't just amazing at rocket technology and took us to the moon. He was also a prophet that predicted Elon Musk taking us to Mars 70 years beforehand. Duh. If you don't think Nazis are prophets, you're a conspiracy theorist. You know what I'm saying? You be conspiracy theorist. How dare you question the normal narrative? You know, the same government that lied about the Vietnam War and said that Vietnam attacked our ship and have since come out and admitted that in fact we blew up our own ship and made it look like it was Vietnam to justify going to war. That same country, that's how you know they're trustworthy. They've come out and declassified, they orchestrated an entire war with a false flag attack. That's how you know they're trustworthy. Duh. You know when people were protesting the Vietnam War in America, so they had to get the public agreement, so they had to fake an entire war based on blowing up our own ship and saying Vietnam attacked us, and they've since come out and admitted that was a lie. But that's the one time they lied. The government would never lie outside it. Well, except for MK Ultra, that's declassified, where they literally experimented on how to brainwash people with different frequencies. You know, but where you watch the tell lie vision, you know, it tells lies to your vision and you channel different frequencies and programs so they can program you and use a remote, like remote viewing, and you guys watch the news. But the only other time the government lied except for that was Operation Mockingbird, that's also declassified, where the CIA admits they took over the mainstream news to control the public narrative so that they could make sure they ensured national security purposes. So when you watch the mainstream news, you're watching the CIA, admittedly, it's called Operation Mockingbird, but that's the only other time that they lied. That's the only other time. Oh, and they were actually asked about this in Congress, and they asked the CIA representative, are you saying the news anchors are actually CIA agents? And the CIA representative on record said, we need to continue this conversation behind closed doors. That's the only other time the government lied. Except for that, they're very trustworthy, you know? Well, also, of course, Operation High Jump the year after Operation Paperclip, where we took Nazis over here, they went explore the Antarctic region, and they came back and they founded NASA, and then the next year they signed the Antarctic Treaty and said it's illegal for every country to go there. Every single U.S. citizen is not allowed to legally, privately, and freely explore Antarctica. That's the only other time they lied. Duh. You know. You know, in 1961, JFK came out and said, we're going to go to the moon in 8 years. And then in 1962, they shot high-altitude missiles up in Operation Fishbowl, and they exploded, and they mapped out the firmament, just like the military documents say there's a container over the Earth. And then JFK got assassinated 6 months after he called out the elite in the speech. Because the government loves you. Duh. And then the guy that was supposed to go to the moon was actually an astronaut in the crew. He came out and said, we're not going to be able to go to the moon next year. We can't even get to low Earth orbit. We can't even communicate within our own buildings. He then hung a limit on the module, and he went and did a routine checking of wires on NASA's facilities, and he exploded and died. Then they replaced him and went to the moon the next year. That's another coincidence. Just like Admiral Byrd, the guy that went for Operation High Jump and went and explored Antarctica, came back on TV and said there's tons of area out there no one knows about, that they're lying about, with tons of land and resources, and then he mysteriously died, and so did his son, who was found in a warehouse right after that. Just a coincidence. Government would never lie, though, except for when they put fluoride in your water and said it's good for you, and it's actually a neurotoxin and an ingredient found in rat poison. That's why they give it to your children, and even put it in different infants' water. You know, except for that, that's the only other time they lied. Oh, and except for when they said that a passport that was made of paper popped out of fire and floated down to ground zero and showed where this bad guy was. Outside of that, oh, you know, and then they were running a drill the same day as 9/11 at the same exact time in the morning, where they thought, well, here we go, we'll imitate planes being hijacked and running into the Twin Towers. So on the same day as 9/11, at the same time, they were running a military drill. That's why they didn't recognize the planes off route. They thought it was part of the drill. It was just a coincidence. And the day before 9/11, they came out on the Pentagon and admitted that there was $2.1 trillion missing of taxpayer money. And the very next day, the area that had the taxpayer money that was documented got hit by a plane and exploded, and we lost all the evidence of the missing $2.1 trillion the literal day after they came out and admitted it was missing. That's all just legit. If you don't believe the official narrative, you're a conspiracy theorist. And all I gotta do is call you conspiracy theorist, point at you, make fun of you, and that makes me right. Duh. Most people think it was legit, which means you're wrong. You know, I'm wearing a lab coat. Whatever I said has to be true. You can fact check all of this. It's open, declassified information, but it doesn't matter. Just like there are hundreds of documents from the military that say the Earth's a flat, non-rotating surface with a firmament over top of it. They're probably lying in their declassified documents, though. Whenever they design technological advancements for military fighter jets, and they have to assume there's a flat, non-rotating surface, and whenever they create ground weapon systems of towers for electromagnetic propagation over a flat Earth, they were just doing that for kicks and giggles. They were actually just throwing the trillions of dollars out the window because they were bored. Duh. You know, and whenever they assume they actually navigate assuming a flat map, and they actually assume it using Cartesian coordinates centralized to their location, and that's the only way they can navigate or find the bad guy, well, of course, that's just a joke. That's not actually what they use. When people's lives are at stake, they have to assume a flat, non-rotating surface, right? And when they spend billions of dollars on it, and the only time that they can find the bad guys is assuming the Earth's flat. When they shoot ballistic missiles, they assume the Earth is flat. When they shoot a railgun over 100 miles, they assume the Earth is flat. Whenever they have military documents that say there's a firmament over top of the Earth, they're just trolling us, duh. Psycho. What are you, some type of psycho? What do you read documents, you nerd? The Earth is so flat, that's how you know it's curved. And the Earth feels so still, that's how you know it's spinning. And this sunset, see, the sun's actually sitting still, and we're all falling backwards 1,000 miles per hour right now, and it just looks like the sun's moving in the sky. Thank you. Yeah, much love. If you don't think that sun's sitting still while you're falling backwards 1,000 miles per hour, you're a conspiracy theorist. You know? We're the conspiracy theorists because we don't think we're spinning 1,000 miles per hour right now. Duh. What are you, some science denier? I can't be a science denier. I have a bow tie and a lab coat. Get some. I'm talking pretty loudly. It's the best I can do. What else can I do, man? There are people all around the other side of the camera. Yay, America's so free, we have lockdowns now. Yay, can we all cheer for the prison term lockdown? Yay, I can't wait till we get Christmas lockdowns now. When they come back in the fall. Yay. I'll have a moment of silence for the freedom America used to have. Yeah. You know, that's what this is. It's all about patriotism. That's why we support curfews and lockdowns now. And totalitarian governments giving you rules from the top down and telling you what you're allowed to wear.
Do you see me wearing a mask, buddy?
No, I'm proud of you.
And you know what? I ain't worn one the whole damn time.
That's what I'm talking about. There are some of us that stood up, bro. I can guarantee you that George Washington would not support lockdowns. Just take my word on that one. Maybe you should read his words. Pretty sure Abraham Lincoln wouldn't support lockdowns. Check your Discord email. All right, will do, man. All right, guys. Professor Austin, yeah. Well, me and my colleagues, we've been looking into dark matter and dark energy, and it just isn't adding up. The assumption that the Earth's in a heliocentric command while we spin and revolve around the Helios god sun, the sun god, you know? See, it just isn't adding up. See, 95% of the universe is inaccurately defined under the theory of relativity, which is that saying that gravity is the effect of the bending and warping of space and time. So this is weird. I don't know. But outside of the fact we're off by 95%, which is we also have a cosmological discrepancy of 10 to the 120th power, which is 120 zeros, and that's how far off we are. Well, we still know the Earth's a ball because NASA went to the moon in 1969 and just can't go back yet. Duh. Crazy person. And yeah, we still use gyros, which were actually utilized discovering the Sagnac effect, who Sagnac said the Earth was a geocentric stationary plane with an ether over top of it. That's what the Sagnac effect is. We take his effect and we throw out all of his information. Just like we use the Maxwell equations, assuming there's a background medium, but then we still take it and we say there's no background medium, there's just emptiness around you. Because you know, something can propagate through nothing. Psychopaths. This is why I debate aerospace engineers and astrophysics professors, and they can't debate the crazy flat earther. 5v1, muting me, interrupting me, all the PhDs you can, name all the PhDs, line them up, I'll just decapitate all of them. I wonder why, I wonder why. Isn't that interesting? How do you have a pressurized system sitting next to a near perfect vacuum if the second law of thermodynamics says entropy will increase and pressure will fill the available space? Oh, you can't. So the vacuum of space is impossible. You might ask yourself, well, why did they say it was a vacuum if it's that easily debunked? Well, the lights in the sky have reset for all recorded history around Polaris, so we have to say they're thousands of light years away in an emptiness of a vacuum, or there's no way the Earth could be a spinning ball. Yeah, so we didn't actually measure the lights thousands of light years away. We just came up with a mathematical discrepancy and it was necessitated out of the mathematical formula. That's how you know it's accurate. That's why we had to change the distance to the sun 6 times in the last 100 years, because we're so accurate. You know, that's why we have to change the sizes and the distances of everything, because we're so positive that we're accurate. Duh. All you have to do is attach a stigma to this conversation, and even though I know nothing about it, and this guy's clearly way more informed than I am about it, I can just call him names and now he's wrong. Duh. Me and my colleagues have tried to work out the problem with the theory of relativity. See, if you have attributed physical properties to conceptual abstractions, you can't do that. That's called the reification fallacy. So how does space and time bend and warp if space and time are concepts and bending and warping and dilation are physical properties? That's called a reification. Can you bend freedom? Well, America has done it, but outside of that, can you bend love? No, those are concepts. You can't physically bend concepts. The theory of relativity is stupid. That's right. Which is why there's no scientific evidence for it, and there's no scientific experiment that's ever proven gravity in the history of mankind, because it doesn't exist. And electrostatics is 10 to the 39th power stronger than gravity even claims to be on the smallest scale, and all molecular and intermolecular attractive forces are electrostatic in nature. Oh, except for that, the Earth's a ball. I don't know anything about what this guy's talking about. That's how I know he's dumb. In a world where no one knows what the world is, surface of the Earth, it is not curving, that is for certain. We've been searching, y'all looking nervous. How dare you yell louder? I'm being pretty loud, that am I? Hey, when I drop a helium balloon, does it go up because it's gravity proof? No, it's because it's less dense than the surrounding air. That's why it goes up. That's why when I drop this water, it's gonna go down, because it's more dense than the surrounding air. And when I tilt this water ball over, it's gonna keep finding its level. It's called fluid statics. Water finds its level, which is why all the water on the Earth is level, because water always finds its level, which is why it's called sea level, which is the only way we have elevations, assuming that the water's flat. We measure a distance above that to get an elevation, but where it's actually curving. See, you know the Earth is curving because it looks so flat everywhere. Duh. You don't have to physically measure the curvature, which has never been done, and all the distances on the Earth and every map ever created utilizes the assumption the Earth is flat, just like George Washington in over 200 surveys assuming the Earth was flat. These people worship this guy, but at the same time think he was stupid, I guess. Because George Washington assumed the Earth was flat. That's crazy. Abraham Lincoln said there used to be giants. Are these guys smart or stupid? Can you guys make your mind up? Doesn't matter. I just want to worship the stones. That's crazy that every map ever made is flat, and every single distance on the Earth ever measured assumed a flat Earth. You drop a perpendicular plumb line to an assumed, or you drop a vertical plumb line to an assumed perpendicular plane Earth. That's how you measure the Earth. So you can't measure the Earth if you assume it's a ball. The Earth has to curve at roughly 8 inches per mile squared if it's actually a sphere in a vacuum like they said it was, but it doesn't do that. That's crazy. You have to see the curvature at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Because the radius is 3,959 miles. It's geometry. But we don't see the horizon there ever. So how's that work? The horizon constantly moves based on atmospheric conditions. I guess the Earth is breathing in and out. You crazy conspiracy theorist. Duh, the Earth is breathing in and out. That's why the horizon moves. Or it's because the sky appears to meet the ground. It's just an optical effect, just like when you stand at the end of a long railroad or a hallway and it looks like things are converging. It's just perception. You can't see forever, right? And that's just the apparent location of convergence, the horizon. And it changes how far you can see based on the atmospheric conditions. Wow, how profound. So you have the flat Earth, which says, well, it's just an apparent location that moves. You have the globe Earth that says it's a physical location of Earth curvature that doesn't move, yet the horizon always moves. That's how you know flat Earth is actually wrong, because they're right about everything. Duh. It's insane. The Earth is breathing in and out. That's why we saw mountains from 273 miles away, and based on the globe Earth math, they should have been blocked by 3 miles of Earth curvature. We actually have X-ray vision like Superman, and we looked through the curvature of the Earth that was 3 miles tall, and it was just apparently was invisible. Duh. That's why we saw the skyline of Chicago from 60 miles away across Lake Michigan, which should be completely blocked by Earth curvature, yet we could see the entire skyline of Chicago because actually we were looking X-ray vision through the curvature of the Earth. Like when a pregnant lady runs her hand down her stomach and can't see her hand at the bottom anymore, well, we can actually see through her stomach X-ray vision. Duh. Witsit the PhD. Yo, I got a lab coat on. What I say has to be true. Duh. Geometria is measurement of the Earth, which is why there's a G inside the Freemasonic symbol, and there's a square and a compass, which is how you measure a flat Earth. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Yeah, you know, where you have to be a Luciferian to be a 33rd degree Freemason. Have you guys ever heard of the number 666? I'm glad you guys asked. 666 is in the globe Earth model tons of times. It's just a coincidence, though. Okay? So you're a conspiracy theorist if you don't think this is a coincidence. I'm a coincidence theorist. Duh. So actually, supposedly the curvature rate of the Earth is 0.666 feet per mile squared. Just a coincidence, right? And then supposedly circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600, which is 6 times 6 times 600. Just a coincidence. And the North and South Arctic circles are at exactly 66.6 degrees latitude. Just a coincidence, as we're on a 66.6 degree tilted axis. Just a coincidence, as we're going around the sun 66,600 miles per hour. Just a coincidence, utilizing gravity, which is 6.66 and discovered in 1666. These are all coincidences, though. You conspiracy theorist. No one knew any of that. The Selenian eclipse that debunks the globe Earth was first recorded in 1666. Just another coincidence. Wait, are you saying there's actually an eclipse that debunks the globe Earth? You're crazy. Yeah, there's an eclipse where the sun and moon are both above the Earth during the lunar eclipse. It's called the geometrically impossible eclipse, and NASA's the one that coined the term. That's convenient. NASA still has to use the Saros cycle from 2500 BC from the Chaldeans, a flat Earth civilization, to even predict eclipses. They admit they can't predict it using the heliocentric model. I thought we'd been to space, though. This is weird. This is getting awkward. Yeah. All the 666s are just a coincidence. You know, gravity was discovered in 1666, and the number for gravity is 6.66. Duh. Duh. As we're going 66,600 miles per hour on a 66.6 degree tilt with 66.6 degree north and south Arctic circles. Duh. What's next? You think the government lies? What, are you crazy? You think the government lies? The government would never lie. Duh. You're not a patriot unless you blindly believe everything the government says. Even though these guys were literally vehemently opposed to blindly obeying governments. I guess we forgot that part. George Washington measured the Earth assuming it was flat. So they can't decide if he's smart or dumb, I guess. George Washington was a flat earther. This is getting awkward. Wow. I guess you guys didn't know that. Abraham Lincoln's on record saying there used to be giants in the United States. Did anyone know that? He's also on record being an incredible racist that says that black people are beneath him. That's why we revere him as freeing the slaves, because he hated minorities. I guess you guys didn't read his quotes. Oh man, we should worship these idols. Yay. Yeah, they're trolling you. They said he freed the slaves when he said that they should never integrate with white people ever. That's his quote verbatim. Howdy fam, what's up, man? He was right about the giants, though. Did you guys know that this was stolen from the Native Americans? Did you guys know that? And that this mountain used to be called the Six Grandfathers? Yeah, there probably used to be faces in there before they stole it. That's why it was called the Six Grandfathers. Oh, you didn't know that, but you just gotta call me names. That makes me dumb. Duh. Oh, why did George Washington think the Earth was flat? Is he smart or dumb? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He didn't see the moon landing that a 5-year-old wouldn't believe in if they watched it. You know, the moon landing, where he dropped his hammer and couldn't reach it because he was connected to strings on a harness. That's how you know it's real, as you heard the hammer on the moon with no atmosphere. Yeah. As they just glitch out on harnesses jumping around like bunny rabbits It was so easy to go to the moon that we just breezed back and forth like 6 times, and we actually played golf on the moon. We just can't go back yet. We played golf on the moon though. Duh. We brought moon rocks back, and then Holland tested it and proved it was actually petrified wood and not real moon rocks. But of course you lie about the moon rocks if you really went there. That's exactly what you would do. Duh. Awesome Spicy Day. I just got federally arrested and released for using my First Amendment here. And the crowd cheered it on. Because we live in totalitarian governments now. Where people just, yay, let's have a curfew and lockdowns, yay. They're gonna go back into lockdown like it's normal. Be a good slave. It's past your curfew. Past your curfew. Let's attack the guy standing up for our freedoms. I wanna be a good slave. I need to watch CNN tomorrow morning and see what I'm allowed to wear. CNN gives us our dress code every day. Oh, I'm not allowed to breathe oxygen today. Oh my gosh. What a clown world. Just 2 weeks. We'll get back to normal in 2 weeks. I mean, a year and a half. I mean, forever. Just wear your mask and comply for 2 weeks and we'll get back to normal. Just 2 weeks. 15 days. I mean, a year and a half. I mean, we're gonna go back and lock down in the fall. Not medical advice, YouTube. Please don't delete my channel. You can't even read medical journals in 2021 verbatim on YouTube. It gets deleted. Because, you know, whenever governments are really looking out for your best kind and they're telling the truth, they have to forcibly censor anyone that questions their narrative. You know who else does that? Communist. No big deal. No big deal. This is how you know you're free. That you have to get permission to go outside of your house past a certain time. Yeah. Duh. It's the pinnacle of freedom. Let's all celebrate these guys that stood up for our freedom. The government let us come out and see the faces in the stone. How generous of them. Yeah. Crazy. And most of the people here have never even read the literature of these people. They don't even know the stuff that he said. Doesn't matter. I just want to go this creepy little ritualistic aisle with a bunch of flags and worship the stones. Worship the stones. That we stole from the Native Americans. You guys ever wonder why they built this in the middle of nowhere? Because it was already built and they just hijacked it, that's why. It was called the Six Grandfathers. Native Americans owned it. Dang, is that not on the sign? They must have forgot to put it on the sign. I'm sure they're gonna update it. Yeah. They're probably not actually conditioning you for the mark of the beast that was prophesied thousands of years ago and said they'd build a one world order and then they'd scan your wrist and forehead and make you identify yourself with the mark on. It's just a coincidence that the same year the whole world shut down and took over as they built a one world government that they told you that you had to wear a mask 1 letter away from mark to identify yourself to buy, sell, and trade. And as you walk into stores, they scan your wrist and forehead. Just a coincidence that you guys walk in like robots getting scanned on your forehead. Be a good slave. How dare you call out the freaking totalitarian government? Are you guys gonna look your little children in the eyes when they say, Mommy and Daddy, what were you doing when the government was taking over? I was posting a pic for the gram. Are you ladies gonna say, oh, I was on TikTok talking about small waist, pretty face, and a big thing? Yo, Drizzy just dropped that heat though. What were you doing when the government was taking over? Nothing. I was cheering whenever one of the guys trying to wake us up got arrested. All right, I think these guys already got the work. Everything I said has to be true. I'm wearing a lab coat. Okay, so get some. I'm the real enemy because I put my business on pause and travel to the United States and floored all my own money to where there's literally none left so I could travel the whole US for hundreds and hundreds of miles for months at a time to try to wake everyone up. I'm the real enemy. Duh. I actually graduated top of my class at Critical Thinking University. Get some. Yeah, at least they didn't confiscate the lab coat. That's true. That's true. We got to be positive here. They stole the rest of our stuff and confiscated it, but at least they let me keep the lab coat. That cost $30 on Amazon. In a world where no one knows what the world is. Epic stream. Who are these crazy people? Why is everyone wearing masks? Did something happen? What happened? Are we going in for surgery or what? This is weird. Well, I'm wearing a lab coat. I guess I can help with the surgery. I'm automatically qualified. Whatever I say must be true. And this is against the official narrative. Even if I had a medical degree, I'd be kicked off YouTube. That's how you know it's a free country. Yeah. Why is everyone wearing a mask? Did something happen? We checked the air. It's still good. It's still good. We checked it for you.
I just didn't see ya.
Maybe we should update Mount Rushmore and put masks on them so they'll be politically correct. Yeah, they're such rebels. They don't care about anything, dude. They're showing their faces. Oh my gosh. This is bad news. This is bad news. We need to cover their faces. Your lab coat gives you powers. What size is the lab coat? A large? I need to send you an embroidered Glowbusters lab coat guaranteed to make you 25 times cooler. That would be awesome. I was just talking about how I wish I had like a sticker or something. Hey, we're offering $100 to anybody that gets 3 trivia questions right about the Earth. $100 cash. You don't got to pay to play, no strings attached. $100 cash. Unless the cops took it. No, I don't think the cops took it. How generous of the cops not to steal my money, just my possessions. So we got a couple $100 we want to give away if anyone wants to try to win it. $100 cash. They're actually just paper Babylonian magic squares, but it's real. Yeah. Anybody want to try to win $100? Free bread. All you gotta do is get 3 questions right. The first question is the same for everybody. How many times does the Earth supposedly spin every 24 hours? Easiest question I could think of. How many times does the Earth spin every day? One's right. One's right. If you want to come try to win the $100, just get 2 questions right. Everybody gets the first one. Thank me later. And they're easy questions. I just know that no one knows anything about the globe Earth. No one knows anything about it. That's how they know we're crazy, because they don't know anything about it. Duh. That's how my friend Chris here knows the Bible's real. He's never read Genesis before. You know, you see how logical that is? I know this guy knows everything about it and I know nothing about it, but he's crazy. He's dumb. He's dumb. You know? If the Earth has a radius of 3,959 miles, it has to curve at a rate consistent with that, but it doesn't do that in Florida or in New York or in Minnesota or in California or in Kansas or in Japan or in Australia or in China. So if the Earth is flat everywhere, what is it? This is why Congress admits they forcibly censor flat Earth, and the only thing you'll find when you Google it is Flat Earth Society, which doesn't have one real flat earther in it, and everything they say is stupid. Oh, you think you fall off the edge? Can you fall off the edge of a lake? Can you fall off the edge of a pond? Oh, that looks like your question was stupid, in fact. No, you can't fall off a lake. There's something called the Antarctic Treaty. It's a circle around you, and every major world country signed a treaty that says it's illegal for you to go there. Did you guys know that? China and Russia and the United States are all in agreement in a treaty that says it's illegal for us to go explore the Antarctic region. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. Longest lasting peace treaty in modern history, not even up for review till 2042. Signed in 1959. Yeah, much love. You know, that's how you know they're not hiding anything. All the countries had to work together to sign a treaty that says it's illegal for you to go see it. This is getting awkward. They drew a circle around the slaves. The only reason that it works so well is the slaves don't even know the circle exists. They actually get mad at the other slave trying to wake us all up. Actually, I'm not a slave, though. I'm free. I just get arrested for my freedom. That's how free I am. I get forcibly arrested. I still have marks on my wrist where he put handcuffs on me too tight. And then the zombie crowd cheered it on. The zombie crowd. We had some people standing up for us. They're like, he's just using his First Amendment. He's just talking. Why are you arresting him? We actually had some people here clapping. I get it. You wanted to come watch this. Whatever. We're here for one day. We traveled 18 hours to see it. This is what we do. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, the stones are doing nothing. If I'm not talking, you got real boring here. Hope you guys can hear me. Definitely worth suing over, yeah. Clapping, that was sad. Yeah, it's crazy. Lab coat plus 20 intelligence, glasses plus 15 intelligence, bow tie plus 10 intelligence, goofy shirt plus 5 intelligence, Austin's actual intelligence immeasurable. Yo, dude. Check out the fit, bro. I'm wearing khakis and everything. That's how you know it's legit. Call me Professor Gets It. We can hear you? Cool. We're gonna wrap this up, I think. I'm super thirsty. I love you guys. The sun's already gone.
Did you win this?
Mm-hmm. I zoomed in on it all. Don't soothe and be the bigger man. They're gonna charge me tons of money.
Can you take a picture?
Somebody that I used to know. So they shoot rockets, but they shoot rockets in the air, but they only go so high. These people are jealous because I got a bow tie. Those are bars, bro. Or do so, sue them. Yeah, I'm gonna sue them. They wrote us tickets for hundreds and hundreds of dollars and stole our possessions because we were using our First Amendment, which at the beginning of this, it literally says, First Amendment protected activities. What a joke. And the land that they stole from Native Americans and is all public property. Yeah, the First Amendment has stipulations. There's free speech zones. You can only speak freely in certain zones. Duh. I don't think it's free speech if it has a stipulation of it's only allowed in certain areas. I'll have to think about this one though. All right, so I love you guys. I'm gonna flat smack everyone one more time. The moon landing was actually fake. We didn't go to the moon. They said that you did not. They took Nazis over here for us to go to the moon. That's why we can't go back. That's why they said they destroyed the technology. It's a painful process to build it back. Yeah, you know, in 2021, they can't replicate technology from 1969. I must be the crazy one. So they can't go back to the moon because they never went. It was a studio filmed in black and white. That's why they can't go back. They said they brought moon rocks back. They tested them. They were actually just petrified wood. And they admittedly did it with Nazis. Operation Paperclip declassified. Declassified. Operation High Jump, we went and explored the region of Antarctica. We came back and signed a treaty called the Antarctic Treaty. It said it's illegal to go there. On the globe Earth, it's the ice cap on the bottom of a ball. On a flat Earth, there's a circle around you. There's an ice stream that contains the water. Antarctica is known to have the highest elevation in the world. And you can't fall off of a shore or off a lake. Okay? There are military documents that tell you there's a firmament over top of the earth, just like the scriptures tell you that. So if anyone happens to know the scriptures are true, well, yeah, they are. They're literally true from the beginning. There's a firmament over top of the earth, like a tent, and your grasshopper inhabitants with it. You're not a tiny speck of dust in a vacuum about to get hit by an asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. That's all pseudoscience. And no, you didn't come from apes. You have a spirit, you have a soul, okay? There is no such thing as evolution. It's not even agreed upon theory, right? There's no intermediate species. Yeah, lightning struck primordial soup and rocks turned into fish that said, man, this water's whack, let's grow some feet. Then turned into rodents, that turned into apes, that turned into humans, but all the intermediate species died. No, you have a spirit. You have a soul. Science can't explain intuition or memories or the light inside your body or your spirit. You have a spirit. You're very powerful. But it's hard to control you and brainwash you if you know you answer to the Creator and not to the government. Did you guys know that we have something called the Declaration of Independence? And that says that we get our rights from the Creator. We don't get our rights from the government. We get our rights from the Creator. That's what the Declaration of Independence says. The Constitution is an articulation of our rights we get from the Creator. That shall not be infringed upon no matter what. In 2021, I just got federally arrested sitting right here using my First Amendment. Yay! We have curfews and lockdowns. There are people that get triggered that I stand up for the First Amendment. This is clown world, ladies and gentlemen. It's clown world. Where people get mad if you don't support curfews and lockdowns like totalitarian governments. See, you need to know the Creator's real and He's what protects you. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You don't get your permission to breathe or to speak or to come out and peaceably assemble from the government. The Constitution doesn't say, this is what the government lets us do. It's what we wrote and said the government can never stop us from doing these things because we get these rights from the Creator. You guys are folding on the first one. When the second one goes down, that's what protects the rest of them. It'll never come back. It'll never come back. And you guys have sleptwalked right through the last year and a half as they make up curfews and lockdowns and give you, what you're allowed to wear every morning. You guys don't see what's going on, though. It's crazy that we agree with the same exact measurements to end this situation that I can't say specifically, it'll get deleted, as China. I guess we agree with exactly how China does things for the last year and a half. I thought China was communist. Well, they agree with what America did for the last year and a half. Isn't that interesting? Huh. This says New World Order on the back of your dollar. They would never try to do that. It was just prophesied thousands of years ago in the scriptures that they would in the end. And they're conditioning you for the mark of the beast, and they're scanning your wrist and forehead, making you identify yourself to go in stores to buy, sell, and trade, as they get ready to roll out the digital tracking system that they wrote about for decades. They just had to have us the right disguise to do it. So wake up before it's too late. You're going to pass a slave state over to your children. And whether you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, you should agree with my right to say it. If we don't have the right to say it, we'll no longer be free, right? So you got to grow up free in a country that allowed you to say what you wanted to, and you're going to pass over a slave state to your children. It's no longer about you or what's uncomfortable or what's the easy route out. It's about standing up for the children that are being lied to and told they're insignificant and being told to be scared of the air and haven't seen mommy and daddy's face in a year and a half. And they're going to no longer know what free speech is. And you guys are going to feel bad when mommy and daddy, where were you whenever the government took over? You're not gonna know what to say, are you? I was attacking the guy in his super fresh bow tie. I didn't like when people try to stand for our rights. I wanted to be a part of the in crowd. Whatever the group said, I did. So stand up for your rights when we don't have our rights anymore. People died for those, in case you guys weren't aware. There is nothing that overrides your freedom. Nothing. Nothing. And if you sacrifice freedom for security, you deserve neither. So stand up for your rights before you don't have them anymore. All right. Peace out. Colin Dresser, thank you for the support, bro. I think my phone's about to die. Yeah, we got 9%. Yeah, it's all good. That was my closing speech. USA.
USA.
Hey. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Austin. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll let him rock with it, man. You know. Yeah, much love, bro. All right, I love you guys. There's 9% left. Fire stream, thank you, man. All right, so you guys know how it is. Don't worry about what other people think. They're always going to attack you. Good job, Austin. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for the support, bro. You're a legend, man. Thank you guys for all the support. Maybe I'll do a computer stream tomorrow or the next day. Tonight or the next day. But anyway, so you guys know how it goes, right? Whenever you speak the truth, people are going to attack you. They're going to mob together. Weak-minded people always mob together, and they throw rocks to the stronger, independent thinkers, right? They let the crowd think for them. Right? And there's a large argument that whenever you give over your own free will to the collective, that's like the real magic. That's the real trick. The whole trick is for you to give your own critical thought and freedom of will over to the collective, right? And that's what the last year and a half has been. Whatever the collective says, we're going to have to believe it. That is the death of freedom, the death of critical thought, right? And then, of course, when it comes to the earth, to dismiss something prior to investigation is the height of ignorance. It's easier to fool someone than to convince them that they've been fooled. So what we're dealing with right now is a bunch of people with a year and a half of built up pride where they'd have to swallow it and admit that maybe they were fooled. But if we don't do that, we're going to turn around and have freedom no longer. So there you go. There's my spill. You guys get it. If you want to support the tour, masqueradetour.com, $WitsitGetsIt, cash at Witsit@protonmail.com. You guys know the deal. And then actually rejoice when they revile you for his name's sake, for they do that to all the prophets before you. Expect to be attacked. In fact, that's just confirmation you're doing something right. So just speak the truth as long as you can. I love you guys.